The fall vegetable garden is a lot more suited to containers. Okra and corn and those indeterminate tomatoes are really tough to grow unless you have a really large container. But lettuce only needs about 4 to 6 inches, so a window box is just fine to grow those. Kale and chard and are fine with about 10 to 15 inches of soil depth, and some herbs like parsley and dill need a little bit deeper pot because they have a very long taproot. But plant your containers. If you're limited to growing containers, you want to plant them with a lot of harvest in mind. Lettuce and greens are going to give you a continual harvest weekly, while cauliflower and cabbage and Brussels sprouts are very slow to produce, and they're only going to get a one-time product out of that. So better to invest your space in things that are going to give you more food. Now you can get large plastic tubs, and they're going to be a lot cheaper than buying a pot in the same size. They may become brittle eventually, but you'll get several seasons of use out of them. You will have to drill holes in them. But think about galvanized wash tubs or your old recycling bin that you had before you got the rolling bins, even your nursery containers. And you can spruce those black plastic nursery containers or your old ugly stained plastic with spray paint that's made specifically for plastic to match your decor. If you've got an old wheelbarrow that's rusted out or your children's red wagon that they're not using anymore, you can line it with screening, and that will make a good planting space as well. I like to use vinyl screen or coffee filters to cover the drainage holes and keep the soil in and the insects out of the containers, and use a good quality potting soil. You will need to fertilize frequently because these plants are limited to getting their food strictly from you. So especially with something like lettuce that I'm cutting a lot and cutting frequently, I'll give them seaweed or a fish emulsion or another fertilizer feeding every couple of weeks to keep them in production. Now you will have to do some protection for these containers from freezing. Most of these will like to be protected when temperatures are going to be below 30. So you'll have to do a little more protection with container plants than you would with plants that are in the ground. But use row cover or the new blankets and cover them up and then uncover them as you need. And you can also put flowers in, mix things like pansies and alyssum that attract beneficial insects. The bees love alyssum and it smells really sweet and wonderful. Have some nasturtiums trailing over the side of a container. Some edible flowers like snapdragons can be added in. So you can use kale, broccoli, all of those kinds of plants, and they're beautiful. The lettuce comes in a lot of pretty colors, and it's attractive as well. So put those on your patio and have something that you can eat, something that's a feast for the eyes as well as your plate. They're really quite rewarding and will do well for you all winter long. For Backyard Basics, I'm Trisha Shirey. Thanks for watching.